Beautiful sunny day here at Myrside Stadium, Watsonian's Rugby Union ground for this Scotland versus England Knights match. I'm joined by Steve McCormack, of course, Scotland coach for many years. A really good test for Scotland this should be, Steve, in the build-up to the World Cup.
Yeah, absolutely, and I've been fortunate enough to coach the majority of this squad and quite a few of the night squad as well. And it's always a big occasion, for World Cup and Scotland. And I know just from experience, when you get this group of players together, wherever they're from, they've got a good blend of young players, some domestic players, some players from the Championship, some outstanding NRL players. Just from speaking to you and Aiken and Kane Lynette, who's had a great season. I think they've got a really good team, but this England Knights team will give them a real test.
Yeah, attritional game for the Knights last week over in France, something that they can develop themselves on today. But when you look at the two respective sides on paper, Scotland look bigger, stronger. Go into this game favourites?
They'll probably be favourites, yeah, I think so. I'm not sure. I think it's a tough question. That I watched the game last week when they played France. I thought that was a really good win, some outstanding performances. And you look at this Knights team and look at the coaching staff in Paul Anderson, does a fantastic job with those, and obviously Paul Sculthorpe. And then they've got some players in this Knights team that have had some outstanding Super League seasons. Look at Ollie Russell. You look at some of the other players in there. I've just been speaking with Matty Nicholson. Had a great season last year and made a good impact at Warrington when he came in. So I know you mentioned favourites. I'll probably put Scotland as favourites because they're at home. But I think it'll be a great game.
England, all about development for them and trying to prove that they've got what it takes to make it to the next rung on the ladder. And Scotland, all about that all-important first World Cup jersey against Italy next week.
Yeah, it is. I think two probably different agendas here. As you mentioned, I think the Knights, it's all about that development, that next step. They've all had good Super League seasons, outstanding Super League seasons. They had a good result last week, and they'll want to get in that full England team. So this is all about being involved in international camp. It's away from the Super League teams and on the club football. It's about that rep football being together. Yet from a Scotland point of view, they've got a World Cup next week starting. So you can't, they always say, let's go and blow the cobwebs off. You can't do that. You've got to hit the ground running these tournaments as we've done over the past few years with this Scotland team. So two different agendas, but a lot to play for both sides.
Plenty to play for. Cracking match in prospect. Time now to hear from both the coaches.
Hi Nathan, thanks for joining us. How's preparation been going for today's game in the week leading up to it?
Yeah, really good. We travelled up on Wednesday and we've knitted in quite well together. There's quite a few new guys in the squad, so they've blended in really well, and it seems to be, all prep seems to be going decent really. We've had 3 field sessions so far this week. We're kind of treating this as our 4th field session, and then we've got 3 more to go next week, building up to Sunday against Italy. So really grateful for Paul and the crew bringing the Knights team up here to give us a good hit out.
You mentioned about the World Cup starting next week. So what are you looking at getting out of today's game?
Yeah, we've been working on our structures within our group as a 13 and as some left versus right type stuff. But there's nothing better to get against some opposition and run where we want to run and get to the right areas of the field and testing our defence out really, because there's we've not had a chance to do much contact really in our three sessions, so be a good challenge for them to see where they are contact wise.
Thanks for joining us today, Nathan. Good luck for today's game.
No worries, mate. Thank you.
Hi Paul, just a little bit on how training's gone today in the lead up to today's game, please.
Yeah, really good, pretty relaxed in what we've done. We went to France last week and had a real good result. I think performance with the ball wasn't the best, but without it I thought we defended and showed a lot of grit and determination. But off back of that, obviously a bit lighter week, but going into this week we've been really relaxed, and it's been a little bit smoother because obviously into the second week of camp and people get to know each other and know each other's habits and relationships get formed. So it's been really good, to be honest.
And what are you expecting Scotland to throw at you for today's game?
Everything they've got. Right, obviously just talking to Nathan, they're getting ready for a World Cup. This is their warm-up like games, like what we saw with England and Fiji last night. It was obviously the scoreline didn't probably reflect it, but that would have been a physical game, and that's what we're looking for here today. And from our point of view, all we're looking at is our young players and giving them a real good experience. Hopefully for them, it stands them in some real good stead, and moving forward, hopefully through the England ranks.
Yeah, excellent. Thanks, Paul. Good luck for today's game.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
And so, the Mireside Stadium awaits both sets of players here. Nathan Graham, Scotland, and as you just heard, Paul Anderson and the England Knights. Aaron Moore will be the man with the whistle. And here's your Scotland lineup. Alex Walker at full-back, Matty Russell, Kieran Buchanan, Bailey Liu and Lachlan Walmsley are the three-quarters. Bailey Hayward on debut at standoff, Ryan Briley alongside. And up front, Logan Bayliss-Brown making his debut, Liam Hood, Dale Ferguson, very experienced, of course, Scottish international, Kane Lynette, Ewan Aitken and James Bell. And then on the bench, well, cast of thousands, Luke Bain on debut from Parramatta, Lewis Clark, Davy Dixon, Charlie Emsley, Callum Garn and Guy Graham would be making their debuts if they make the field of play, along with Kyle Schneider, Ben Halliwell, Sam Luckley, Jack Teenby and Shane Toll, as Nathan Graham looks to get some more minutes under the belts of plenty of his players before the start of their World Cup campaign against Italy next weekend. For England, Paul Anderson goes with Will Price at full-back once again, Josh Thulis, Dion Cross, Ellis Longstaff and Jack Broadbent, Mikey Lewis and Ollie Russell, the half-back combi, Matty English, Jez Litton and Ethan Havard, the front three, Matt Whitley, Jordan Lane in the second row and Matt Nicholson at loose forward. And on the bench, Danny Walker, Tyler Dupree, Harvey Hill and George Delaney, late additions to the squad this week, along with Ellis Longstaff. And here they come then, the two sets of players. Scotland, a final chance to get themselves in the right frame of mind and with the right preparation for the start of their World Cup campaign next week. Steve McCormack alongside Steve. Big moment there really in the playing careers of some of these Scotland lads today. Yeah,
100%. Always a very special occasion. You know, World Cup next week, coming off the back of 2 or 3 really good World Cups. And you know, you've mentioned a few players making the debut. I'm just looking at some experienced Scottish players in there as well, and a big day for all the Scottish team all round.
Players going to line up then for the anthems beforehand. And it's been a good turnout as well here this afternoon at Watsonians Rugby Union Club. We've just had a pretty hefty shower of rain the last 20 minutes or so, but otherwise conditions forecast to be set pretty fair. Stiff enough breeze blowing across our faces as well from the commentary position. And a minute's silence to come. Yeah, we have then the national anthems of both nations. A real chance here for the England Lions players to stamp their authority on an international stage, and we know what this means to Scotland. As I mentioned, Steve, obviously a bit of drizzle at this moment in time, but also from time to time that wind gets a little bit gusty. Is that going to play a part today? Yeah,
of course it does. I think it's a matter of which team plays the positions well, and you mentioned a lot at stake for the Scotland lads. There's an awful lot at stake for the English lads as well, you know, to get this opportunity to play for England. You know, the Knights getting that succession plan, Sean Wayne's succession plan. It's a big day for both teams. Scotland then in the predominantly navy, England in the predominance of white. And Aaron Moore is going to get things underway then here at the Mireside Stadium with a deep kick. Scotland just want to play out this first set of 6, try and get some sort of foothold in the game in the early stages, and already the English lads looking keen in defence. Jez Litton leading up the line.
Quicker, Matty!
Youngster from Hull KR. Here's Ferguson. Dale Ferguson, been around so long, and a player you'll have coached, of course, many times. Yeah, been outstanding. He's actually captain in this team as well, and you're just looking at another man carrying this ball now in Kane Lynette. You know, the 3 key players, I think, in Russell, Ferguson and Lynette, just having the early carries. Ferguson taking again another second carry, and a big emphasis now will be on the kick and the kick chase from the Scotland team. Yeah, great. First 5 of this set. Look how far they've come downfield. Liam Hood's in there at dummy half, and will fire the ball to his left, and the little kick comes in this time then over the top by Alex Walker. Well fielded at the back, but you'd be happy with that at the start. Yeah, great start. I think you know, just well organised, some good carries. You know, Matty Russell set him on the front foot, and that second option kicker with Walker as well. A bit of pressure was put on Ryan Brayley, but Price at the full back from England just took it well, and good opportunity now to see what England can do. Handy start then for the Scots. Don't forget Italy coming up for them next week, but England, their first opportunity with ball in hand here down this left hand side. Pretty stiff breeze blowing at the moment, as you'll hear. Ethan Havard it was with that particular drive. Matty Nicholson down centre field. Last of the set, says Aaron Moore. They've struggled to make ground in this first set of 6, England, but it's not a bad kick to finish things off. Yeah, great kick. Very, very similar start from both sides. I think the big thing that Paul Anderson will be looking for is that kick chase. You know, last week in France, they did that really, really well. Just a little non-negotiables from any England team, and that's a good start again from England. Hood then will fire a pass to his left to Lachlan Walmsley. Walmsley, second appearance in the navy blue, plays the ball, and Hood again. Good go forward from Liam Hood already. Scotland then, what can they fashion in this second period of possession for them? James Bell, last tackle of the set. Are they going to come short side? That's the plan by the looks of things. Kick comes in, it's hanging off the boot there of Bailey Hayward. Well taken out the back as well by Will Price. But great chase. Yeah, again, just that man Liam Hood there, you know, massive influence he's had for his club team at Wakefield. You know, he leads the kick chase all the time, and I'll keep mentioning that kick chase and those little efforts from both sides, and Liam Hood epitomises that. Dion Cross then, just trying to clear his lines here, midway inside the 20. Brand spanking pair of orange boots by the looks of things, but excellent defence here from Scotland, driving back as England try and make it out of their own 20 through Matty English. Dummy half ball was from Jez Litton, and they've decided to kick a little bit earlier this time for Alex Walker. That a sign that they were under a little bit of pressure at the back? Yeah, to be fair, it was a good kick from Price as well. That again, a lot of kick pressure put on, but a real big kick, long kick. Alex Walker, who again, you know, not played a lot of football the last couple of years, but been outstanding for Scotland the last few years. And you know, that man, you know, Matty Russell, they rely really heavily on that quick play of the ball from Matty Russell. Always uses his footwork, always gets low to the ground, but on that occasion, just comes in with that unforced error. And first marks go to England. See the carry there, good kick chase again from the England side. It was Ethan Havard leading that.
Matty Russell just couldn't get his foot over the ball, could he?
Yeah, good start for England.
So still inside the first 5 here, scoreless. Scrum will pack down on halfway. Here they come, England, with Mikey Lewis back on the inside. Ellis Longstaff, who looks to have started the game, contrary to what we were told beforehand. Here's Havard. Ethan Havard, bit of footwork, and the high shot comes in. And so first penalty of the game goes the way of the Knights. I think it was James Bell, wasn't it? It was just a little bit too keen.
It was. I think Havard started the game really well. Just a replay of this, I think it was Aitken involved in it as well. James Bell just twisting Havard in that. And a great opportunity with good field position now for England.
Rain starts to pour down again here in Edinburgh. Lovely drive in this morning, but not those conditions out there for the players at the moment. Spinning run by Matty Nicholson takes things towards the Scotland posts. In at dummy half once again is Jez Litton. Short ball. Havard. Within 10 metres now. Having soaked up a bit of pressure in the early stages, can they get across for the first points of the match here, the Knights? Here's Havard. Ball away is to Russell. Goes left-hand side. Kick comes in. Chance in the left-hand corner. And it looks as though Jack Broadbent has gone in for the first try of the afternoon. Aaron Moore checks with the touch judges and awards the try. And Broadbent, debutant for the Knights last year, gets across for his first England Knights try. It's Scotland 0, England Knights 4. Yeah, real good play this from England. Very, very similar to some of the stuff that they did in France last week. And, you know, it just looks like a well-organised team, this. And it started from that right-hand post. All the key spine of that England team just started off. It was a great ball from dummy half. Havard gave the ball to Russell. Then a fantastic kick through. And then Jack Broadbent, as you mentioned, just gone through. But again, another just real good shot of this. Everybody's running the lines, real genuine efforts. And then just an onside kick chase just to finish off. Fantastic play from England. So super start. Paul Anderson will be delighted, because you coaches get excited about things like that. Of course we do. Of course you do. And I think the big thing with that as well is England. It was a bit of, as you get in the early part of the game, were some good kick chase. But one thing you can't do, certainly against this England team, is give penalties away and off from good field positions. Because when you've got, you know, your Will Prices and your Ollie Russells in there and your Jez Littons, etc., they'll punish you, and they've just done that. So Will Price from this near side, as it is to our commentary position, touchline. He's got a good contact on it as well, but maybe just that bit of breeze has held it up and misses past the left-hand upright. So 4-0 it remains. But I think in those first, 7 minutes or so, Steve, promise for both sides, and here we go with that England try again. Yeah, I think it's just real smart play, because they could have actually passed that ball then, but what they've done is just held back. I think Nathan Graham would be a little bit disappointed with that right edge. You've got to get off your line, you've got to get to a 10. On that occasion, they just sat back, and then it just enabled Mikey Lewis just to dab that ball forward, and great try. So, kick-off corner, just laughing because our commentary position, folks, is out in the open here. The magic of television. We have a table in front of us and we are getting drenched. Maybe we should just burrow under this table, Steve, and get a little bit of shelter for the rest of this match. As England then, from that restart, with Matty English down centre field. He'll be full of strong carries, I'm sure, in the Knights shirt this afternoon. Jordan Lane, Matty Nicholson with that latest carry. Kick comes in, and again it turns Alex Walker at the back. Good kick and good chase again from the Knights here. And Walker, well, he's looking for a way through, but there is no way through. Yeah, I'm just looking at some of the Scotland players now, just ambling back. You know, it's early in the game. Worms is just carrying it, coming up with an error as well, and just what England needed, just what Scotland didn't want, and another opportunity for this England team to put some points on the board. Yeah, a couple of moments for Lachlan Walmsley to deal with early on then. need to come back strongly from this one. Jez Litton then goes in at dummy half here. England sniffing, pressing for a second score. Mikey Lewis brings on the runners. Here's Nicholson straightening things up towards the posts. Dummy half passes by Litton. Lewis once again, and now Jordan Lane. Played in that match against France B last week, his Knights debut. And the Knights pressing again down the right-hand side. Price just trying to find a lazy defender in field. Here is Jack Thulis. Straightens things up once again. Crash ball is for Matty English, who is across the line. But excellent effort by the Scottish defence, numbering up there to hold him up.
Yeah, they'll be pleased with that. Dale Ferguson again just on that line. What you don't want to do is just allow either a dummy half sneak, what they call it, where the 9 gets across the line, or just a straight drive where Matty English, big man coming on. But Ferguson did really well.
Danger not averted just yet, though. Kick will come in once again, this time from the boot of Ollie Russell. And held up behind his own line, a Scottish defender. Matt Whitley through there to make the tackle, who has impressed this season.
He has, yeah, done really well. I think you've got to give Alex Walker a big rap as well. He just made that tackle on English, then he sprinted across, as all good full-backs do, and just eliminated that danger. But good, patient play from England, and they've just got another opportunity now.
So Scotland having to soak up some pressure here. They've done it for the moment. The first drop out of the match then, and they go short. Jordan Lane pounces on that bouncing ball, and here's English once again on his way to ground. Somebody caught him just or maybe a little bit higher, but play continues, says Aaron Moore. Once again here it's Russell, looks to the left, Price coming in field. Price still stepping his way through, trying to find that gap in the Scottish defensive line. Not so on this occasion. Once more they come left-hand side. That's looking to load that attack down the left-hand side by the looks of things in these early stages. Russell it was. Litton goes in at dummy half. Here's Whitley. Excellent effort in defence by Aitken on this occasion, and the double tackle from the Scottish number 11 as well. But England, last tackle. Kick comes in here from Russell. Ball bobbles around. Good numbers in there from both sets of players, but England have won the argument in terms of strength, and Scotland will once again drop out.
Yeah, how good's England's short kicking game? You know, we've looked at both halves from that. What you want is to either get a try like they've got, or get a couple of repeat sets, and they've done that again. On this occasion, it's Ollie Russell, onside chase, just dinks it through. Good play there from James Bell, just covering that kick. But it's another repeat set, and this is going to take some defending from this Scotland team.
Much pressure, great test for them ahead of their World Cup campaign. The Scottish side, who we were saying before the off, might just have started this one favourites, certainly in terms of some of the experience on offer out there. But at the moment, doing it tough. England 4-0 in front. And they have Matty Nicholson carrying once again towards the Scotland 10-metre line. Dummy half is Litton, fires a pass to his left once again. It's Lewis. Lewis to Price, out on the left-hand side is Longstaff, but that's gone to ground, and Scotland try the counter, but he can't take it clean there, Lachlan Walmsley.
Yeah, again, I think you've got to praise Scotland's right-edge defence here now. It takes some doing defending a couple of repeat sets as well. On that occasion, they actually got off the line. It was Lou. The right-hand side here, you see this right-to-left side shift. They loaded that up. Will Price just took the ball right to the line. But something they didn't do in the first 5 minutes, they actually got off that line and forced England into an error. That's excellent defence from Scotland.
Are there any ducks to come on? Anything like that, you think? Rowing boat, perhaps? Gazebo, maybe. That would be good for the second half. So, 4-0 England in the 14th here. Beautiful setup here, by the way, folks. Lovely wide expanses on this flat pitch used by Watsonians rugby union team, the school behind the point from which we're commentating. Lovely leafy area of Edinburgh as Scotland down the right-hand side trying to find a way through. They had a couple of good sets to start the match, but have been on the back foot just about throughout since then. There was Bailey Haywood. 8 appearances in the NRL this year, 12 goals for Canterbury Bulldogs, Bailey Hayward. And a useful acquisition when France think about what they're going to do in World Cup action, starting with Italy next week. Kick came in then from Brierley. And excellent chase through as well, headed up there by Hayward. But now then, we've got a bit of a fracas here, Steve, and that's all on account of the fact that the ball was spilled, and I think 1 or 2 of the Knights players took exception to that challenge.
They did. I couldn't quite see if there's anything for that. It was a real good kick from Brierley. You know, good set from Scotland to actually get over that advantage line and get on the front foot to enable Brierley to kick. But an outstanding chase again. Not sure what happened in the tackle. I think England took exception to that. But yeah, nothing in it, no punches thrown. It was just some pushing and shoving. Ryan
Brierley been around a long time now, somebody you know well.
Yeah, really well. And the one thing about Ryan, he can play in a number of positions, and one thing he's done this year, he's been fantastic. You know, his club form has been fantastic, and he's now considered a senior player for this side, and certainly from the first 5 or 10 minutes you can see why.
His 9th Scotland appearance, Ryan Brierley, and there he is, right on cue to throw the pass out to his left, but Alex Walker can't reel that one in. The interception attempt has been knocked forward.
Yeah, it's a good job as well. It's Josh Thulis just read that. I think what you'll find is that indicator, Alex Walker, that full back from the Scotland team, will just link up with Brierley. Brierley's gone right to the line, and it was just a little dink, and Matty Russell was waiting, but Josh Thulis just stopped that play, and another opportunity for Scotland now.
Scotland then looking for their first points of the match as we go on towards the halfway stage in this first half. Here's Brierley, looks to his right, bringing on fullback Walker. Lachlan Walmsley has his mitts on the ball at last after a little spill earlier in the piece. Hayward already just showing us a couple of times that he's quite fancies stepping off that left foot. Tried again this time, couldn't get through. Spinning that pass to the left to bring on James Bell. Matty English fronting up in defence for the Knights then. What have Scotland got at the back end of this set? Bayliss-Brow. Logan Bayliss-Brow gets taken high on this occasion. Penalty Scotland.
Yeah, good pressure again now. I think interesting aspect to this Scotland attack now is we haven't seen Liam Hood run from dummy half, and I expect him to do that. He's just a little put the marker in there. I think it was Havard just going high, and the pressure's on this England defence.
Dale Ferguson then has the scent of a 7th Scotland try in his 21st appearance for the men in Navy, and here they come, this time with Ewan Aitken. Can't find a way through 3 of those white Knights shirts, but they're within touching distance here, Scotland. The first points of the contest for them. Hood will find Hayward. This time he opts to pass, and the long ball from Walker is out down the left-hand side to Matty Russell, but that was, well, I think a country mile forward, possibly, Steve?
It was. I think, again, you've got to give credit. I think Leon Cross and Thulis were on the right page for England there now. It was a real good pass from dummy half to get that width, and then Brierley again just trying to find Alex Walker, similar to the previous play. But good work from Cross and Thulis on that right edge, getting off the line and just forcing that error for Scotland.
They just rushed him, didn't they, into playing a ball he didn't really want to play.
No, the line speed's been really good from England, I think. You know, they're under the pump there as well, but you know, one thing they do is they're very fit, they're very quick, they're very agile, and on that occasion they're on the same page as well, and that's good work from the edge defence from England.
Who have possession then midway inside their own 20. Early try came in the form of Jack Broadbent in the left-hand corner. Lovely kick through by Ollie Russell to create that. That came as early as the 6th minute, and neither side been able to get across the other's line at this moment in time, but the Knights have an opportunity here with another leaving penalty.
Yeah, I like that carry from Dupree as well. Just come off the bench, one thing he did, you know, makes a big impact. Good carry, good leg drive, and just lift him above the horizontal. And again, disappointing from a Scotland point of view, because they built that pressure, had a couple of sets, and then they've let England off the hook with a penalty.
Yeah, Tyler Dupree, 22-year-old prop from Salford. Chance for him to impress. Paul Anderson and Paul Sculthorpe, of course, was out there as well. Aging well. Scully in there. I chat with him and ran across the pitch before, and I nearly got involved with the warm-up because it's so parky up here on I was going to say gantry, but on the top of the steps, Steve, as England, the Knights in possession down the right-hand side. Sniffing around in the 20, trying to find that second try, trying to put a bit of daylight between themselves and the home side, but, well, it was Mikey Lewis, wasn't it? He was trying to get the kick away. Ball's gone to ground.
It was. I think if you watch this Scotland defence there, again, they've rushed off the line. James Bell leading the chase as well, and he's running right across. It was Liam Hood just putting that pressure from the inside as well. One thing you can't let the England pivots do is just pass on their terms, and Liam Hood, James Bell have got off the line and made the half-backs play on Scotland's terms, and on that occasion it's worked for them, and they've put the pressure on England and they've come up with an error. Yeah,
in fact it looked from our angle that he was trying to kick it. I think looking at the replay, he was probably still trying to let a pass go, but the ball slipped from his grasp, and that an indicator really, folks, of the rain that we've had in this first half so far. Just a little bit on the greasy side out there, as Aaron Moore waves 6 again then, and Scotland once more forced deep into their own territory by England, but have come up with the ball. This time Kane Lynette, and here's Bell trying to step his way through. Numbered up well though, this England defence, as Steve has mentioned a time or two already. They've been quickly off the line to try and force the errors, and have succeeded on occasion or two. What have Scotland got then? Just approaching the halfway line and struggling to make meters. Bell's pass it was to his left there to Charlie Emsley, who's out there off the bench as well. Second appearance for him. Scored a couple of tries, Charlie Emsley, on his debut for Scotland last year in that 30-all draw with Jamaica. Kick will come in here from Haywood. Hangs that up nicely. Underneath it, Will Price. Oh, Price now then. Great chance here for Scotland. The ball is back inside to Charlie Emsley. In the air once again. Well, it was all on for a moment there. It was all came from Will Price, who got high above any oncoming Scotland defender, but then couldn't take the ball in. Opportunity rose for Scotland.
It certainly was, and it was that man, I think it was Walmsley, who put some real good kick pressure. He's been doing that all year for Halifax. Will Price knocked on. Alex Walker just tipped on there, and then maybe it would have been better off just killing that ball, playing it quick and getting another opportunity. But you know, real good play from Scotland, good kick, good pressure. And let's see what they can do with this set of 6 from here.
Looked like it was Kane Lynette, didn't it? Chiming in, trying to get his mitts on the ball. Bounced off an England defender and went aerial, but Scotland still have it. And they have it with Brierley. Gets it away to Matty Russell, stepping off the left foot. Rain comes again here in Edinburgh. Not going to make it any easier out there for both keeping feet and keeping hands on the ball. Here's Kane Lynette running direct towards the left-hand upright. Scotland in the hunt for some points here. Bell down the right hand side they come, with Walker chiming in from full back. Evasive as well. Walker gets past the tackle of Ollie Russell, but then slips the ball out, and unfortunately for him, straight into the midst of Tyler Dupree.
He did well, Russell. You know, Walker just stepped in there and came on the inside, but Russell just chased him. He did really, really well.
Handy little relieving run from Will Price, who feel a little bit better now that the danger for the moment is averted after that little spill at the back. He's just running gingerly at the moment, Will Price. His 3rd Knights appearance. And the Knights have it with Thulis taking a bit of pressure, bit of heat off the forwards. And penalty has been awarded.
Yeah, we're coming down to that area now, aren't we, where the middles are getting a little bit tired. You know, the coach will start thinking about changing the middles, the front rowers, and that's the first time that Litton's run from dummy half, and they've targeted Ryan Brealey on that left edge. England's right, and Brealey's just come up with a high shot, and again, you know, something that Scotland have been quite impressed with the way Scotland's played, but from a discipline point of view, they've got to sort this out really, really quickly.
3 penalties to 1, I make it. The Knights in front in the discipline stakes at the moment, and so they'll have the restart. 30 from the Scotland line, pounding away at the home side, the navy blue. We'll be taking on the Azzurri next week. Here come the Knights with Nicholson, straightening things up towards the well, towards the burger bar, I think, at the back of the back of the ground there, Steve, is Jez Litton. Ball inside is by Ollie Russell. Again, England just left-hand side-ish at this moment in time. It's where the try came earlier in the piece for Jack Broadbent, but now switching play at centre field. And here's Nicholson trying to hammer his way through underneath the posts in driving rain here at the Mireside Stadium. Lewis, kick has come in. Hooked away though, did well. Alex Walker again. It's a good job for Scotland that he's been present today.
Yeah, it's been brilliant, hasn't it, so far? Just under so much pressure. Just the width of the ball from Jez Litton here from dummy half just took 3 or 4 of the England defenders away. And again, just that short kicking game. I think it's again it's Mikey Lewis on that right edge, just dabbing the ball through. But as you mentioned, just Alex Walker, really, really solid at the back for Scotland.
Yeah, it's a little bit on the damp side, isn't it, Steve? As Scotland prepare then to drop out for the second time in this one. Third time, in fact. And he hasn't managed to make the 10.
Do you know, it's really interesting that. I quite like it as well. They've tried that short kick 3 times, Scotland. Not ideal, and they may not try that in the World Cup, but they're doing something a little bit different. But again, it's just giving this England team some good field position, good opportunities. And you're going to have a see at having a real go at this Scotland line.
And they're doing so with Ethan Havard then, just to the right of the uprights. Litton. Here they come down the left-hand side once again. Ollie Russell. Whitley, I think, was the man involved. He was indeed, as he gets back to his feet. Chances here towards the post with Havard once more. Looking for somebody to offload to, couldn't get a ball away. Litton this time. Kick will come in this time from Lewis. It bounces back off a Scotland defender. He does well. Mikey Lewis to retrieve that at the first attempt, and still camped on the Scotland line here, the Knights. The whistle of Aaron Moore just stopped things momentarily. And Dion Cross plays the ball, and a little dink and dummy through, and England Knights are in for their second try of the afternoon. Josh Thulis, the man, his first try for the England Knights in just his second match, and they lead 8-0.
Yeah, and it was coming as well. Thulis, he's done a lot of work from backfield, but on that occasion they've just gone short side again. Ill discipline from Scotland to get England in this field position. They're running some good lines. It's a short dropout again. They've tried this on 2 or 3 occasions. It's not come off, offering England some good field position. And then when they get the penalty, just very, very simple, little show and go. You know, the markers have got to get low. They've got to get on the knees, and that'll just allow them to get up and make sure Thulis doesn't get that ball down. The 2 upright, and Thulis just little show and go, and just splits the marker and gets his try for England.
Yeah, 20 years of age, Josh Thulis. Oldham born, former Waterhead junior. Been playing Super League since, 2019, when he made his debut for Warrington against Catalan. Age just at 17. And it's Will Price. Managed to get the ball, 10 metres or so in from the touchline as well, just to narrow things. Price, of course, none from 1 so far. How does he go with this second attempt? Well, this time he's pulled it right across the face of the posts. So it remains Scotland 0, England Knights 8.
Yeah, it'll be interesting how Scotland approach this next, 13, 14 minutes now. They've got some key players, and they've been pretty impressed with Bell, who's playing that middle unit and is linking the forwards and the backs up. It's whether Nathan Graham wants to get him off, but another show with this try. They'll be really disappointed with this, Jonathan. They've done a lot of real good defence. They've defended set on set, some repeat sets, and then just that simple goal line sneak, show and go, but real smart play from Thulis.
So cracking first half so far in general, but also in particular for the Knights with those couple of tries. I wasn't trying to put you away, by the way, when I suggested Scotland might be favourites, this
I didn't know
this morning before we started. I just thought you might give me 25-1 England Knights at that point, but I'll take that now. 8-0 they lead, and well, wouldn't you know it, after another shower of rain, the sun is back out in Edinburgh, and the Knights in possession then midway inside their own half. It's been a good disciplined performance from them so far, and here's Tyler Dupree. And talking of discipline, another penalty conceded by Scotland, a 5th now in the match for the Knights.
Yeah, getting a little bit sloppy there now, and Litton's gone off and Walker's come on as well. Good change there from Paul Anderson for this England team. Both really quick 9s around that ruck. Some tired Scotland defenders, and they're going to get more tired the more penalties they're conceding, and you know, it's a bit of a danger zone now for this Scotland team.
Yeah, Danny Walker, of course, started at hooker last week, and Litton was on the bench. They've switched those roles around this time. Let's see what sort of impact Danny Walker can have for the Knights, who have the ball around about 20 inside the Scotland half of the field. Russell, who's looked dangerous in possession, tried a little bit of a hitch kick before he got the ball away. But Scotland muscling up in defence at this moment in time. Walker goes in at dummy half. He's looking to his right, and he eventually brings on Harvey Hill, who's out there on his Knights debut. Late call-up this week. There's been a couple of nights, I'm guessing, this week where he might have missed a few beats of sleep in preparation for this one. Bit of nerves as the long ball out the right-hand side, and the Knights are in for a 3rd try. And it's a 2nd on the afternoon for Josh Thulis. And he won't score many easier ones than that. Took his opportunity really well.
He did do it. It was a high pass as well, to be fair, in these conditions. He's took it above his head, that pass, but just quality, just absolute quality there from England. And they've got that field position just from that poor discipline, as we mentioned, from the Scotland team. But Danny Walker again just running out, nice quality pass. And then just a fantastic ball there from Mikey Lewis, and Josh Thulis just hugging his touchline. Again, everything's on the mark, ball to hand. Good ball, and he's just looking at Matty Russell. He was short on numbers on that left edge of the Scotland team. Matty Russell just flew out. Thulis just hugged his touchline, and Mikey Lewis, as he's done all game, has just found him with a great pass.
So often we see that, don't we? The defender shoots out off the line because he's not got the numbers with him to do what he's supposed to do. I mean, from a coaching point of view, how do you deal with that? Is that fair enough?
Yeah, no, it shouldn't happen, but you know, it does happen. I think the fact is, when you get tired and you're defending all the time, the first thing you do is you just start, you know, narrowing your line, and you get tired and you fall off and your numbers go, and it's all about holding your nerve and keeping your discipline. But on the flip side, you know, this England side have been very, very impressive in holding the shape. The spine of the team are linking up really well, and they've taken the chances whenever they've come.
Price then, in search of his first successful conversion of the afternoon. Even wider than he was for the previous try just 4 minutes earlier. Gets a pretty good contact on it. This time he's getting closer. He's getting closer, but he ain't got one over the crossbar and between the posts.
Yeah, I mean, you can't see it on screen, obviously, at home, but the wind's terrible, isn't it? It's swirling around. But again, just another opportunity this try. And the interesting thing as well, because England's kicked well and they've done the short kicking game well, it just puts the edge defenders of Scotland just on, you know, are they going to kick it? Are they going to run it? Are they going to have a long ball? And just the options from all the half-backs of England are just causing a lot of problems for Scotland.
And those half-backs are just getting that little bit of space to work with.
They are, yeah, you know, and they're picking the right options as well. You know, that's the key. And what we've not seen any of the half-backs do so far is run. And I probably expect them to do that in the next few minutes.
Drive was by Dupree. England with Havard, tall figure of Ethan Havard. Short ball was by Russell. They're trying to sneak their way through down this Scotland right edge, but not at this moment in time. Approaching halfway then. Once again, it's Danny Walker. Shows and goes and hands it on then to Lewis. Quick hands across the line, but no way through on this occasion. England pressing, oh dear me, bar of soap for Jordan Lane, unfortunately couldn't cling on, and they've surrendered possession with Scotland in a position of a bit of promise.
Yeah, a bit of an unforced error there. I think you know, they've held the ball really, really well, England, but you've got to credit Scotland as well. You know, just that resilience they've got in that defence. You know, epitomised by this man Matty Russell playing the ball now. But yeah, just bobble. It was a good ball as well.
Jack Teamby, and he was hit hard there, wasn't he? On halfway by Matt Whitley, and a combination of he and Ethan Havard. But again, there we see the greasy conditions, and this time coughing it up was Luke Bain of the Parramatta Eels on his Scotland debut. Just about the first touch I think we've seen him have, and he won't want to remember that one.
No, but it's getting a bit tasty as well now because of these conditions there now. It was a decent ball from James Bell. And just that line speed from the England team just put him under pressure. All his teammates coming saying, you know, well done, and, you know, just that real good shoulder contact.
Technically just under the ball as well, jolts it out.
Tough, yeah, and one thing you've got to do in these conditions is just hold that ball, get a good grip on that ball, get a good carry. But good defence from England.
Who have the scrum then? Right on the centre spot. Oh dear me. Now then, we've been seeing balls drop. Now Dion Cross has lost his footing. The England right centre. No harm done as he clings on. Jordan Lane. Inside the Scottish half of the field. England with 3 tries already. First one to Jack Broadbent, a couple to Josh Thulis, if you're joining us more recently, on 27 and 31 minutes for that 12-0 scoreline, with Will Price not having been able to convert any of the trio. Nice little offload by Matty English. It was Price with the ball back across to this left-hand side. Kick comes in from Russell. It's going to stay in the field of play. Now then, there was danger for a moment as Walmsley tried to turn that dead, and just for a split second, Steve, it felt like that was going to hold up and possibly be a 4th England try.
Yeah, I just think it's real smart play that from Russell. You know, he's looked at the edge there now, just that little left-footed dink over that. Lachlan Walmsley's done really well, right near our commentary position there now, and he was on the back foot, and he's just got back, kicked the ball dead, and it's another repeat set. It's probably the 3rd or 4th repeat set that this England team's got. And this will take some defending from Scotland.
Who restart play, going short again with that drop out, a 4th one of this first half that England Knights have managed to force.
They've nailed it this time as well, haven't they? Short drop out and they've nailed it. 1 out of 4.
As a famous Scotsman said, if at first you don't succeed. I bet you had that one in the dressing room a few times, didn't you, back in the day? Penalty to Scotland as well here. Just their 2nd of the match so far. Yeah, look at this one again.
Is it Matty English in there? And it's a good carry from Kane Lynette, just using all his experience as well. Probably a bit unfortunate, I think, you know, from an England point of view to get that against them.
You're a diplomat.
Yeah.
You really are.
Yeah.
Scotland then inside the England half. They'd love some points before half time to set it up nicely for the second 40. Not gone this one by a long chalk at 12-0, but we're closing in on the half-time break, and here they are with Bailey Hayward. Has a go off that left foot again and draws another penalty.
Yeah, I think it's just I think the referee was just watching him. I think it might be just a little bit of a late shot by Dupree. Nothing malicious in it, but obviously with the way the game's going now, you can't do that, can't afford to do that. See, just on that edge there, just come out of his line and the pass has gone, and just a little bit of a late shot, and Scotland have got a penalty.
Oh, and a yellow card also been dished out here to Tyler Dupree. Part in that.
Yeah, I think that's something that that Aaron Moore, I don't think he had any choice in that, the way, you know, the disciplinary side's gone of the game so far. And good opportunity for Scotland, 12 men for England, and let's just have a see what they can do with this set.
Yeah, finish off the half then, England with the 12 men. Nice stepping run from James Bell. Sun back out, will it shine on the Scots in these closing first half moments? That was Kyle Schneider, who's one of many off the Scotland bench out there at the moment. Kyle Schneider on debut as well from the Mackay Cutters in the Queensland Cup. But another ball going to ground, and the longer this half has gone on, the more difficult, Steve, it's become to control.
It is. They'll be disappointed with that. Again, it was good play prior to that tip on from Bell around that ruck. I think it's Mikey Lewis on this occasion. You know, being smart. That's the late hit from Dupree, the sin bin. You know, they'll be disappointed with that, England, and Scotland will certainly be disappointed with the next set. I think it was Mikey Lewis just reached round here, banged the arm, of Scheider from the 9 from Scotland, who's replaced Liam Hood, and they've just let this England team off the hook.
Kyle Schneider sounds like he's James Bond's next nemesis, doesn't he, sort of thing, in Bond 26, something like that. And now then, Aaron Moore not happy with something we're unsighted from here. And here we go with the Knights then. Final minute of this first half. Will it be a case of what we have, we hold here, or will it be pressing for a late score to really put daylight between the sides? We'll see. Longstaff it was. Spinning run this time by Dion Cross on his Knights debut. Midway inside their own half. Can they find a clean break late on? Will there be a tired Scotland defender or two to try and exploit? Try and find a hole. Matty Nicholson can't on this occasion. Here's Russell. Now then, kicks from deep. Alex Walker across to cover. And he's turned here behind his own line. 4-5 England shirts up there to make the tackle, and a brilliant chase by the Knights. But that will be the half-time break, with Scotland behind here on home soil by 12 points to 0.
Yeah, I think it's been a real good half. I think they've been very even for most of this half. I think England's just had that continuity, just that experience around the half back, and the spine of the teams worked well. The kicking game, the short kicking game's been good. I think Scotland showed an awful lot of resilience. You know, I thought Bell, Russell, Lynette's just led this side really, really well. Obviously, there's been a couple of missed kicks from the conversions of England, which has just made the score, you know, a little bit more respectable from Scotland. But good half.
Yeah, good half of rugby league football. Scotland have got a fair bit to do in this second half in preparation for that game next week, but it's more about that for them, I guess. Here's the first try.
I think it's just a short kicking game. You know, we mentioned that quite a lot through this, and they've done 3 or 4 of these. Fantastic kick there. You know, an onside chase as well. It was Broadbent that just scored that ball. Good pick up. Walmsley couldn't get across. They'll be disappointed with this. It's a little show and go from Thulis. Marcus standing upright. They should be really low down on that. But Thulis has just done that little deception, footwork, got really low, and got a well-deserved try.
Yeah, possibly sheer weight of defensive pressure in that first half. Tired legs, the second try. That was the first by Josh Thulis, and here's his second.
Yeah, and he just loops the ball over. You know, they're just not on the same page, that left edge of the Scotland defence. Good ball from Walker. And then that man, Mikey Lewis, just lobs the ball right over. Josh Thulis hugs his touchline. Matty Russell flies in. And they just capitalise on that and get a well-deserved third try.
Super first half of action then. It's been here at the Mireside Stadium. Scotland 0, England with those, England Knights with those tries from Jack Broadbent and 2 from Josh Thulis, without any of the trio converted in that first half by Will Price. They lead by 12 points to 0 at half-time, the Knights. We're just a week away then from the big one, of course, the World Cup. And it all kicks off at St James's Park, Newcastle, next Saturday afternoon, where England meet Samoa.
Let's show the world what we can do with a World Cup that makes a real impact, both on and off the pitch, through real impact stories. This is an England international shaking the earth on his own turf. It's one Welshman's greatness living on through our Surrey ball. It's striving for your place against all odds. It's living and breathing the game after life-changing events. It's team spirit as St Helens sent aid to Tonga. It's building a new roost for the Salford Roosters. It's kick-starting the fun with squads on the time. And it's having the ability to shine as we make a real impact in homes, in streets, in fields. And when we land this October, we'll be smashing the history books by hosting the biggest, best and most inclusive Rugby League World Cup ever. This is Rugby League in your community, your street, your heart. Leaving a positive impact, inclusive impact, a proper impact to packed stadiums all across the land. And when you hear the roar of the crowd, get ready to experience the full force of the Rugby League World Cup. This is real impact. Let's show the world what we can do with a World Cup that makes a real impact, both on and off the pitch, through real impact stories. This is an England international shaking the earth on his own turf. It's one Welshman's greatness living on through our Surrey ball. It's striving for your place against all odds. It's living and breathing the game after life-changing events. It's team spirit as St Helens sent aid to Tonga. It's building a new roost for the Salford Roosters. It's kick-starting the fun with squads on the time. And it's having the ability to shine as we make a real impact in homes, in streets, in fields. And when we land this October, we'll be smashing the history books by hosting the biggest, best and most inclusive Rugby League World Cup ever. This is Rugby League in your community, your street, your heart. Leaving a positive impact, inclusive impact, a proper impact to packed stadiums all across the land. And when you hear the roar of the crowd, get ready to experience the full force of the Rugby League World Cup. This is real impact.
Welcome back then from the Myreside Stadium here in Edinburgh, where it's Scotland 0, the England Knights 12 at the half-time break. Tries from Jack Broadbent, first up on 6 minutes, and then on 27 and 31. A pair of them by Josh Thulis, who's had a real good start to his Knights career. But Steve, as a former Scotland coach of many years, I mean, what is the way back into this one for the home side?
Well, I think they've played really well first half. You know, the points on the scoreboard may not reflect reflect that. But I think Nathan Graham will have got an awful lot out of that. I think the key to this is how long he keeps his key players on. You know, I expect him to make a lot of changes if it's not now at half-time, but first 10 minutes I don't think he'll keep the players like, you know, Lynette and, you know, Russell and James Bell on that. He got Liam Hood off really early. You know, the one thing that this Scotland team's not got, they've not got, you know, a massive, you know, squad, you know, of experience, so he'll want those experienced players to be in there. But I think Nathan Graham will be really pleased with that first half. But
it's got to be difficult for, I mean, I can't even count the number of substitutes that they've got here, so they're all on and off, on and off. That's not going to help with a cohesive performance, is it?
Maybe not now, but I think it's a matter, they've all had a good hit out. You know, some of these players won't have played for weeks and weeks, whether that be NRL, Queensland Cup, you know, the Championship, or wherever that may be, Super League. It's just a matter of them getting a little bit of continuity, getting the cobwebs off, like we mentioned at the beginning of the game, and just keeping everybody fit. You know, they will want to win this game. It's an important, to Scotland v England game is always important, but the bigger picture is making sure they get through this, you know, no injuries, and get a good hit out, and I think they're doing that.
We talked about the space that Mikey Lewis and Ollie Russell had at half-back for the Knights in the first half. Not so much the same from a Scottish point of view for Bailey Hayward and Ryan Briley. We know about Ryan's experience. We talked about that during the first half, but Bailey Hayward, have you seen much from him that's impressed you in that first quarter?
I think he's just, you know, passed really, hasn't he? You know, he's caught the ball and passed the ball well, been solid defensively. I think the England defence has just rushed him, so I think, you know, on that edge, you know, the right end edge of this England defence have rushed up, put him under some real pressure. So we haven't seen anything of him. I expect, you know, even when England start making some changes, and if they keep him on, you know, he'll grow into this game. And, you know, you don't play NRL if, you know, that the amount of times he's played. I think he's played 5 or 6 times in 2022, I think. And, you know, you don't get that opportunity if you're not a good player, certainly in the position he plays.
And looking as far as the Knights on attack concerned, they got that first try down the left-hand side, and it looked as though they were loading things up left-hand side-ish, didn't it, for quite a while, but then confounded that with the 2 tries wide on the right.
They did do, yeah. I thought they stacked that left-hand side, like you said, and, you know, that's at times, you know, they get a little bit relaxed. The defensive side and the opposite side, you Matty Russell on that left edge, and that Brealey on your left edge, and as you said, the tries from England have come on that side, and they'll be disappointed with it. Certainly the Thulis try, I think Scotland will be disappointed with that. But from an England point of view, the points of attack, whether that be from 9, you know, whether it be, you know, from, you know, Danny Walker when he came on, I was impressed with him. I thought Jez Litton at 9, they were working short sides, and then you've got Russell, you know, and then you've got people like Mikey Lewis just working that, and then you've got Will Price out the back. They've got an awful lot of options that they can use and rotate in that area.
So, here are the players then. Just waiting for the ball, and Aaron Moore has that in hand right now. Knights then playing left to right as we look at this Watsonians Rugby Union ground from our commentary position, up the top of about at least half a dozen steps. As Alex Walker gets play back underway then for the second half. And the Knights 12-0 up. Those 3 tries, none of them yet converted, not been a successful kick in the match so far. And it was Jordan Lane taking up that first carry. Important here that the Knights again get a foothold, establish themselves early on in this second period.
I think so. I've been impressed with this man who's got the ball now, Nicholson. I thought Nicholson and Ethan Havard just, you know, led that line and was winning that forward battle. You know, Matty English again just taking this carry, just taking the juice out of this Scotland defence, and then you'll expect you know, Russell kick and a Walker scoot from dummy half like he is doing.
Yeah, Danny Walker then came on back end of the first half, and he's back out there to start the second. Jez Litton starting hooker for the Knights on this occasion. Kick came in pretty late there, making the challenge was Luke Bain. And once again, just a little bit of fiery, but that's what it's all about, isn't it? Want to see a bit of feeling.
Yeah, I think potentially maybe the sin bin here again. I think Dupree was late in the first half, got the sin bin. We see a ball from Price, and Russell just sat on that left edge, and just nothing in it, a little bit late. I think a penalty and no sin bin is sufficient in this one.
So Scotland, with, these are not official figures, but I can count reasonably well in ones. I think they've got 4 penalties now to their name. The Knights had 5 in the first half, so getting on for even Stevens discipline-wise. That teaching thing He does rub off on us occasionally. So, Knights, of course, as Steve was alluding to, down to 12 following the sin binning of Tyler Dupree in the last few minutes of the first half, last couple of minutes.
I think that's good refereeing again from Aaron Moore. It's not a penalty. I think a little bit of you know, pushing and shoving after that kick pressure, but he's got both captains in, refereed it really well, and Scotland's got the ball in their own half now.
Yep, there's Russell trying to find a way through. That notorious style of stepping that he has. We've seen it for many years now. An exciting runner when he gets going. And the Scots driving on, pressing hard down this left-hand side with Kane Lynette, Hull KR, former NRL Grand Finalist, of course, on a couple of occasions. Won one and lost one back in those days. But now stalwart for Rovers and for Scotland, of course, who have possession here. It was Hayward again deciding not to run at the opposition defence, maybe under instruction, passing to his right. Last tackle of the set. Here he is once more. Bailey Hayward goes to the skies this time. Price, well, we saw him spill one before the half-time break. He'll feel a bit better about life now from taking one cleanly. Bit of confidence back. Yeah,
it was good pressure from Longstaff there as well, just making that kick go high, and Price has just got some good time on the ball there now. But as I said, just a bit of a confidence boost. He's got the ball there now. He'll be looking to use that footwork, that brilliance that he's got, just to exploit some of the lazy Scotland defenders or tight defenders.
Kick comes in then, and that will find touch just down to the right of our commentary position. And England pleased with themselves on this occasion, made good meters with that.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. It was a quick play of the ball there now. I think it was Walker from the dummy half position. Right-footed kick, 40-20, and just put the pressure right back on Scotland. That's great work from Danny Walker. Makes a big difference when you've got your nines in your team that can kick the ball. You know, I think England's got a couple of half-backs that have kicked the ball really, really well. But on that occasion, that long kicking game from Walker's made a massive difference to the momentum of this game. Yeah, I don't see too many 40-20s these days, do we? There was a spate of them back in the days when it was first introduced, first one of the match. And here is Lewis, a 20-40 rather than a 40-20. As England Knights pressing forward. Here's Danny Walker from dummy half. Gets it away to English. Excellent effort off his line in defence for Scotland there. Was by Guy Graham. Last tackle of this Knights set. Searching, trying to find a way through for a fourth try. Kick will come in off the boot of Lewis, but well swept up at the back. That's good reading, isn't it? A full back by Alex Walker. Been good again, hasn't he, Alex Walker there? Now, just not a bad kick as well there. Just the position of Alex Walker. You know, he's right either at marker, and as soon as that ball's gone away, he's on his bike. He's just working, he's moving, and he's done that on numerous occasions.
Here come the Scots again. Once more, Russell, nice little offload just to try buy a few more yards from the legs of somebody else out of the Scottish 20. That was Lachlan Walmsley, tackled right on the whitewash. And they're going to go short side with a little dummy half dash, but England, well, they're pretty aggressive in defence in the early part of this second half. Charging run once again is by Graham towards the halfway line, but they've got about 25 metres in this first 5 tackles of the set. The kick has come in from Hayward along the carpet this time. Handed on by Josh Thulis to Price. And Will Price trying to get back into the Scottish half. England Knights looking for a clean break at this stage. Can't find one just at this moment in time. Halfway line. And another little dash and a shimmy to try and put on a bit of footwork and find his way through, this time by Mikey Lewis. He's looked exciting in this match. He's looked exciting in his club colours as well during this campaign. Dash once again is by Danny Walker. Good yards here made by the Knights in this set. And he's looking down this right-hand edge, Mikey Lewis, and comes this way as well. Russell back on the inside. The run is from Jordan Lane. Beats one man. And he's clamped by a pair. Last tackle of the set once again. Lewis, little dink over the top. Good catch this time. Thulis in search of a hat-trick, but can't quite reel that one in. Inventive play, though.
Yeah, I like that set from England, just working all the dummy half work and just working that ruck over and Scotland's middles. But it's a good kick and a good competition there from Russell and Thulis. On that occasion, it was Russell that won the competition, but it was just an offside there. It was a good ball again. Real good kick. Onside chase. Russell did really, really well. But it's another opportunity now for England and good field position.
Yeah, Nicholson with that first carry towards the H's. Walker from dummy half. Russell back across against the grain is the run by Whitley. Knights skipper towards the right hand upright. Little dash left this time. Walker, they're going open side. Kickers come in this time from Russell, and it's a good take at the back by Walmsley, and had to be with two England Knights men sniffing around for a loose ball.
Yeah, he was in a lot of pressure, Walmsley. He's done that all year, you know, whether that be an attacking kick or a defensive, you know, catch there. Walmsley's done that from Whitehaven when he first came over from Australia, or at Halifax this season. And I'd like to see Russell just show and go a little bit and start, you know, running a little bit more. I think his kicking game's been really good. He's organised well. Just like to see him go right to the line and have a little show and go and have a go at the defensive line himself.
The Scots then. Haywood gets that ball away down the left-hand side. Scotland just struggling that little bit more than the Knights to make metres in this match. It was Bell who handed the ball onto his right, but they have made it into Knights territory this time. That was Callum Garn with a pass to his right-hand side. One of the many 28 players I can count on the Scotland team sheet in this one, and they're all having a go. James Bell once again. Pass to the left brings in Alex Walker into that Scotland attacking line, and this is a better set from them in terms of where they've gone from the start to the end of the set. Kick comes in, it's by Bailey Haywood, and Price is just able to usher that one dead. Just a little bit too strong, Steve, but much more encouraging set of six.
Definitely. It's interesting with Bailey Haywood when you've got Brealey that's gone off, and you know, a couple of the senior Scotland players, he's started to step up. He's run a little bit in that half, a little bit unfortunate within that kick, you know, a little bit too much effort on it or pace on it, but it's nice to see Haywood step up to the mark.
Yeah, Bailey Haywood. Will we see the skills that have obviously earned him some NRL game time? And we know how tough that competition is. The Knights then with Tyler Dupree, who's back out there on the field following that sin binning. So the Knights back to the full complement of 13. And that might spell a bit more danger for the home side. Little scurry from Lewis. The kickers come in. Chances here in the right-hand corner. It's going to be Dion Cross who tries to get the ball down. And eventually it is Josh Thulis who gets on the end of the loose ball. And that's a hat-trick for Thulis. A fourth try in the match for the England Knights. And it's Scotland 0, England Knights 16.
Yeah, and it started from a really, really quick play of the ball from Harvey Hill. He's just come off the bench. Great to see a young player, Cumbrian player. You know, we're fortunate to coach his dad, Howard, at Whitehaven, and he's come on. Real quick play of the ball here, as you see. They get on the front foot, 6 jumps out. And then as they've done all the game, Thulis onside chase. I think Matty Russell will be a little bit disappointed with that. But what a fantastic play there from Mikey Lewis again. Dinks it over, sprinting on that ball. And then a good work from Thulis. I think you've also got to give Dion Cross a lot of credit for that as well.
Going to say, because he'll get the glory, won't he? Hat-trick for England Knights, Josh Thulis, and everyone will see that on the score sheet. But Dion Cross was so important in that try.
Yeah, and you don't see that, do you? You don't get the headlines, things like Dion Cross did, but it's the little things that I'm sure Paul Anderson, you know, Paul Sculthorpe will be really pleased with the little effort. Starting from Hill, starting from the jump out and the kick from Mikey Lewis, and then that combination of Cross and Thulis on that right edge.
What a start to your Knights career then. Josh Thulis, a try in last week's win against France B, and a hat-trick this afternoon in just his second appearance. And again, Will Price can't find the range with the conversion, so they'll have to settle for those 4 tries difference between the sides. 16-0.
Just smart player for Mikey Lewis, you know, just showing all aspects to his game there. You know, he's got in that dummy half position, just that left-footed kick, which is a difficult skill to kick from your left foot to that right edge. But just them little smart plays there from Cross and Thulis. They've done it all game. They've put a lot of pressure on, Matty Russell and Buchanan on that left edge of Scotland, and they've come up with the rewards again.
Under half an hour to go then, and Scotland still in search of first points of the contest. Remember, Italy first up for them in the World Cup. They've got the Aussies as well, Fiji.
What an opportunity, brilliant, to play against the best players in the world like that, and get together in camp and represent your country. There's nothing better than that.
Now, super stuff. And we wish them well. The Knights have got business to do here, though, because they've got their own international futures to try and showcase here, and they are doing a very good job collectively of that at this moment in time. Once again, good yards made. Excellent run from Will Price to chime in. It's with Dion Cross, and here goes Thulis. And Josh Thulis on the end of another try, his 4th of the afternoon, a 5th for the Knights. And quick as you like, just a couple of minutes on from his previous hat-trick score. Thulis in again, it's 20-0.
Just too quick and too smart, aren't they, England, at this moment in time? And it started right from the kick-off. They went and they showed their intentions and went wide straight away. They get on the front foot, playing really, really quickly. Danny Walker just jumping from dummy half and getting that momentum. And then they just set up on that left edge. And then just everybody's on the same page. If you look at Walker here, sprints out from that dummy half. Ferguson gets caught at marker. Halfbacks go right into the line. What a great play there from Will Price. Just linking up. And then that combination of Cross and Thulis. Quality little soft hands. Just that speed, that footwork, that deception, that quality of skill, and that timing of Will Price to get through that left edge of Scotland, and that little draw and pass from Dion Cross. And Thulis is absolutely having an amazing game on that right wing.
He can certainly finish.
Yeah, he's done really, really well, and he's done the things that, again, even in backfield as well, taking the ball strong from backfield, and to score that amount of tries in an international game takes some doing.
Change of kicker then for the Knights. Ollie Russell having his first go, left-footed, slightly into the wind, and he has been successful with 1 from 1. So 22 points to 0, the Knights lead. Is this over and done with now? We're going to see Scotland rally.
Well, they'll rally. They'll never ever, give up on that, and they'll show a lot of resilience. I think England's just showing the class there. You're just looking at that, and you're looking at, just the way the halfbacks link up, and we've mentioned that spine, that 9, that 6, that 7, and that Will Price at 1, who's the indicator wherever he goes, that ball generally goes, and just the timing and the skill to put this Scotland team under the pump. But one thing this Scotland team will do, they'll not give up, they'll be resilient, they'll keep fighting, but this England team is just too quick and too smart for them at the moment.
Ollie Russell then of the Huddersfield Giants with that conversion, so 22 points to 0. We're looking for the Scotland rally. They want something to take with them into that World Cup opener next week. As for the Knights, well, primed and ready, I guess, for any calls that may come from an England point of view during the World Cup, because you never know. As England then, from deep inside their own half of the field, we already saw Jake Wardle, didn't we, called up into the from the Knights into the.
He was good last night as well.
England side against Fiji last night.
Outstanding last night.
50-0. Good run out for the full international side yesterday evening. And the Knights also backing them up well here. Paul Anderson and Paul Sculthorpe, head coach and assistant respectively for the Knights, I'm sure will be delighted with what they've seen here as the kick out of play will give Scotland possession inside their own half. Just been impressive, haven't they? Both, we keep banging on about them, but Mikey Lewis and Ollie Russell. Yeah,
I think it's just been a real outstanding performance from England. I think the actual brand of rugby they're playing as well. I know, speaking to Paul Anderson prior to the game, we see this kick again from Walker, done it on a couple of occasions, and it's giving him free rein to play. So Paul Anderson has said, go out and play. There's a couple of philosophies in there where you work hard, we kick on the front foot, we chase hard, but go and play. Take your short sides, take whatever's on. We're not going to be too structured, and they're showing that, and they've been fantastic, England, to be fair to them.
Yeah, and just to reiterate, 28 players for Scotland, so it's not going to help them in terms of combinations and cohesion out there over the course of the 80 minutes. They might hit their straps on occasions, but That's going to sort of water things down to some extent, but totally understandable that Nathan Graham wants to see everybody have a run out here in his last match before, before the big start.
And they'll be better for this next week as well. You know, this man, you know, how many carries has Matty Russell done? You know, how many carries has James Bell done? You know, Fergie coming back on, and you've got Sam Luckley. So these key players, they'll get better. This man again, you know, he's just dropping the ball off, and you've got Kane Lynette. Great to see Lewis Clark at full-back. You know, he's a domestic player that's played at all levels through Scotland. Students, A-team, you know, full team. So it's a good run out. They just need to get through this game now and keep going and make sure everybody's fit for the start of the World Cup next week.
Can they find some points? Well, not at this moment in time, but here is the stocky figure of Dale Ferguson. How many thousands of times have we seen him carry the ball over the years in Super League and international action? And he's out there leading his team at the moment, Scotland then. That was Callum Garn. Another drive this time is by Sam Luckley, I think it was, who went through, obscured at the moment by the England defender. It was indeed Sam Luckley on his way to Hull KR from Salford for next season. And penalty goes the way here of the home side.
Yeah, I think it's certainly a penalty. I think Danny Walker's just sprinted out and he's not grabbed him and tipped him. He's just put some shoulder contact in. And nothing too malicious in that. Not sure if it's Walker. But yeah, just a rightfully a penalty, and it gives. I think the big thing from an England point of view now, they'll want to keep this to 0. You know, it's the last 20 minutes of this England team season potentially for a lot of these players. You know, they want to keep this Scotland team scoreless.
Yeah, still plenty to go at, plenty to play for in the final quarter or so then for these two sides, and it's Scotland who have possession. Bell, a lovely run chiming into the line. This time it was by Bailey Liu of the Sheffield Eagles. Haywood to his left. Here's Ferguson again. Dale Ferguson still takes a bit of downing, and they've got another penalty here. Pressure now beginning to build on this Knights defensive line. Scotland, I make it at least, have gone in front, I think, now on the penalty count.
They have, and it's got some good pressure here. You know, you're looking at that combination of Ferguson and Bell in that middle, just linking the forwards and the middles up with the back line. And let's have a see how England can defend this repeat set.
James Bell, first carry, straighten things up towards the posts. In at dummy half is Callum Garn, who's having a little dig himself here and held just short of that England Knights line. Scotland then pressing for first points of the contest for them. Haywood, the kick comes in, chances for Kane Lynette. Has he got the fingertips to that one? He's celebrating the try. Aaron Moore awards it, and Scotland are on the board, and it's Kane Lynette. What a talisman he's been for the various clubs he's played for, and in more recent years for Scotland.
Yeah, he's been brilliant for Scotland throughout the years, and to be fair, he's had an outstanding game again today, Lynette. And we mentioned about Bailey Haywood just having a bit more of an influence in this Scotland attack. Now that Hood's gone off and Brealey's gone off, and he's done exactly the same thing again. It's James Bell at dummy half. So a real good pass there now, and that man Haywood just dinking it through the line. The England defenders weren't there. You know, I think Cross and Thulis just rushed that line, and just a smart play from Haywood. And you mentioned that man Kane Lynette, done it all year for Hull KR, just does the little things well, aggressive, onside chase, and Will Price couldn't get there, and a well-deserved try for Scotland.
Kane Lynette, 33 years of age now, the old boy. But what a glittering career he's had, the New South Welshman. Won the 2015 NRL Grand Final for North Queensland against the Broncos. All Queensland Grand Final. Had preceded that with defeat when playing for the Roosters against St George Illawarra back in 2010. A World Club Challenge winner. And he certainly knows how to get across the line. 27 tries in 73 Super League appearances since joining Hull KR back in 2019. And his second try in Scotland colours in his 9th appearance, as that conversion attempt is just pulled beyond the uprights. But they'll feel a little bit better about life now, won't they, the Scots?
Yeah, rightly so as well. You know, again, just another shot of this try. I just think they've got a couple of middles just running through there now, and you know, the influence that the half-backs, it's crucial. And going forward into the World Cup, you know, they've got to get that right. People like Brealey and Haywood and Alex Walker and all that, the key players, Liam Hood, that continuity will come. They're a little bit rusty today. I think England have shown that. The game against France, they've improved on that. You know, they've been together a little bit longer. Some of the Scotland players only arrived in the country on Thursday, so, you know, it's very, very early days. But as you said, they'll feel an awful lot better at that. You know, they've just, a couple of players have really stepped up against a very good England team.
So Scotland 4, courtesy of that Kane Lynette try. England Knights 22, 5 tries. 4 of them for Josh Thulis and 1 for Jack Broadbent. It was Lachlan Walmsley, by the way, who missed that conversion attempt. Beautiful, glorious, sunny afternoon here in Edinburgh after we've had the rain pouring, driving down earlier in the piece. But it's shirt sleeve time at the moment. Have you brought your factor 50?
It's like being back in Wigan. Like being back in Wigan now.
Dale Ferguson leading the line for Scotland. I tell you what, he's done very well to keep hold of that one. He tried to get the ball away round the tackler. I think it was Danny Walker, wasn't it? And he was prevented from getting it away, and then somehow had the ability to keep possession. Aaron Moore's whistle has gone during that Sam Luckley carry. Luckley, 6th appearance for Scotland for him.
It's Matt Whitley. Just took a little bit of a knock to the head. England medical staff was really, really quickly on. Hopefully not too bad. Looking okay.
Yeah, Knights debutant back in 2018. Good game last week against France B in what was difficult. I think difficult trip, wasn't it, for the Knights down to France by the sound of things.
Yeah, it's you know, I was watched that game as well, and it was a tough game. That, you know, when you go away to France, and you know, again similar to this Scotland team, they'd only been in camp a few days, but I thought it was a really good win that from an England point of view last week.
Whitley just been checked, receiving that head check. I'll make sure everything's okay in that regard. Thumbs up from the physio. And we can get play back underway then with that play the ball now by Luckley inside the last 17 minutes here. 22-4 the Knights lead. Here is the Scotland try scorer Kane Lynette, making 10 metres under duress from a couple of England Knights defenders. Last tackle of the set, where we see some more skills from the boot here of Haywood, as we saw leading up to that try. Commentator's curse, I think, there, Steve.
It was
out on the full.
Yeah, it was, but the pressure that Jez Litton's put on Haywood there, you know, again, the things that a lot of people don't notice, but he's flew out the line. He's put kick pressure on Haywood, and that's made Haywood just skew that kick, and you know, that's the little things that good sides always do.
Knights then we'll have it back here. Enthusiastic defence from Scotland, who were very quickly up there and in the face of Matt Nicholson. Nice stepping run brings Price into play, and he evades the would-be challenger. Lateral run, trying to bring on somebody to drop off him, but in the end it's left to Dion Cross to get involved. Cross instrumental in that earlier try by Josh Thulis, with a good chase. And here we have Ethan Havard once again. Second appearance for the Knights. He's shown up pretty well while he's been out there on the field of play, but on this occasion there's been an error, and that's going to be a handover.
Yeah, it'd be interesting now, won't it, if they can just get another try, Scotland. You know, there's still enough time in this game to actually make a big difference on this scoreboard and potentially get really, really close to England. But Ethan Havard just come back off that bench. He had a real good first stint in that first 20 minutes of the game. It's just that unforced error, and it's just offering Scotland this another opportunity, some good field position, just to see if they can put some more points on the board.
Bell gets it away then to Luckley once again. There was an attempt at chiming on the inside by Alex Walker, but Luckley was clamped, as you can see, unceremoniously by 3 England defenders. Bell again showing up well the longer this game goes on. And in from the back then, Lewis Clark. Dummy half here is Kyle Schneider. And goes in once again following that little dash by Kane Lynette. Kick comes in once more from the boot of Haywood. Well swept up at the back this time by Price, though, and a good chase too. And Scotland then in the set deep inside the Knights' territory. And I talked about, you know, the number of players, Steve, and possibly that could lead to that lack of cohesion. But I guess the longer this match goes on, the better you would expect Scotland to get.
100%, yeah. I think, you know, just looking at people like Haywood there now, and fair play to Will Price, you know, that takes some doing to actually get across there and defend that kick. But that continuity is really important. The more they play, the better they'll get. And I think Scotland's showing that.
The Knights, though, have it. Scotland defending at the moment. Kane Lynette in there to this moment in time with Jack Teenby, who's out there as well off the Scotland bench. Just his second appearance in the navy blue. Last tackle of the set. Price will go skyward this time. Underneath that, Alex Walker watched it well. We saw Price himself in a similar position, didn't we, earlier in the match? Couldn't deal with one, but that was excellent fullback play by Walker, who's taken a knock for his pains.
Yeah, May took a bit of a knee to his back from cross here. He's probably one of the best on the field, hasn't he, Walker? I think he's done everything. He's been under immense pressure. Just that kicking game from an England point of view, every single set. I see him just take the ball here. Nothing in that. I think he has just took a bit of a knee. But certainly nothing intentional there. He's dropped the ball. Hopefully he'll be okay. The physio's on, he's looking well.
Yeah, Dion Cross, just as he dropped to the ground, he's going down as well, and you've got to bend your knees. You can't avoid doing that.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. And Cross, I think Cross has been one of the outstanding players. A lot's been said about Thulis, but he's done all those little things well that you want from a top player at this level. You know, kick chase, you know, been onside, done all the little things, done all the things that your teammates want to see you do. And I think Cross can be really pleased with his performance today.
Scotland then, deep within their own territory at this moment. That was Kieran Buchanan. And we've just seen that little bit more in this second half of the skills of Bailey Haywood. Wonder how much more we'll see of those in terms of unlocking opportunities for Scotland during the World Cup campaign itself. He's been warming to his task out there, the Aussie.
Good to see the 21, Shane Toole, come on for Scotland as well. Another player that's come through the system, Barrow player, who played in the World Cup a few years ago for us when we was coaching. Great character in camp, and good to see him come on the field.
And the latest in a variety of kicks by Haywood. They've not always come off. We saw him kick one out on the full earlier, but he's gone skyward. He's gone along the carpet again with this one. He's certainly reading what's going on at the back for the Knights and trying to exploit some gaps, trying to drive them back at the moment, though. England Knights down the left-hand side, trying to find their way through. 3 first-half tries and 2 so far in this second. And we've got, what, just under 12 minutes to go. 22 points to 4 scoreline. Probably a fair reflection, but that is not to say that Scotland have not played a significant part in this match themselves. Kick will come in here from Ryan Briley. And not from Ryan Briley, from Ollie Russell. My apologies, wrong team. Always helps if you get the right one, Jonathan, as Scotland. Good read at the back by Lachlan Walmsley. And England were up there pretty quickly.
I think that Scotland back three is going to sleep well tonight, aren't they? On the full back and 2 wingers, because they've had some pressure tonight. You know, everything, you know, that England's done, they've done with excellence. Them little kicks, and the back three, the full back, the 2 wingers, and the 2 centres have been put under immense pressure, and they've come through it really well.
Jack Teenby with the drive then for Scotland towards the halfway line, and they're coming left-hand side. Lynette looking for runners on the inside. Kane Lynette, formidable looking figure, presence out there on the field for Scotland. He found Shane Toole on that occasion. The kickers come in, and Price will be back to field the loose ball there. Just a sight of Mikey Lewis in back play. Not sure if he's cramping up, perhaps. Doing a few calf stretches out in front of our commentary position. Just down to the left. He's shown up well for the Knights, no doubt about that today. And they have it once again in midfield. Ethan Havard. Keen with the run once again is Dion Cross. Very good debut effort from him, as we were just saying. Kick comes in from Litton, who's back out there for the England Knights, and Walker is along there once again. Who else for Scotland to sweep up? Excellent kick.
Yeah, do you know I've probably not seen a team kick as well for a long time for the whole game. You know, they've been consistent, they've scored tries, they've kicked pressure, they've got, you know, 40-20, 20-40s. The kicking game from England, whether it be from, you know, the 9s or the 6 and the 7, have been absolutely exemplary for that, and that's really good to see. You know, we look at the talent available for some of our younger players, you know, coming through Super League, and it's fantastic to see.
We've both been watching the game a long time, and you think about some of the England, the Great Britain sides in the past, and that's often been a criticism levelled at them in the big games. Kicking games not been there. And this is exciting for the future of that particular team.
Brilliant, and let's talk it up. You know, some of our younger players within this country, you know, we're very quick to, you know, to highlight how good other countries are in the NRL. Some of the performances from some of these England players have been outstanding, not only today but certainly in the French game.
Kick came in there by Shane Toll down the left-hand side, but Price it was running it back once again for the Knights. And Scotland, well, they had that bit of territory. They came up with a try for Kane Lynette on 60 minutes. They've just been becalmed by the Knights to some extent since then, and haven't managed to create another clear-cut opportunity. But they're certainly warming to the task here, and there should certainly be encouragement in this performance for Scottish supporters where the World Cup campaign is concerned. Remember, next Sunday against Italy as that ball goes to ground. Matt Whitley, I think.
Yeah,
was the guilty party.
As well, weren't he, on that left edge? You know, it was Russell taking the ball right to the line. It was Longstaff, but what a good shot! I think is it Walmsley coming off that right edge? Hits him right under his ribs, and Longstaff just couldn't hold that ball.
Yeah, Longstaff, you're right, not Whitley. Don't want to be served with a writ there for the handling error. That's Scotland are going to get the possession at this scrum then. Closing in on the final hooter. It's been a really good afternoon here. The Scots in possession deep inside their own half, but Aaron Moore's whistle goes. The Knights caught offside. A 7th penalty of the contest to Scotland. So we asked what Bailey Hayward could come up with. He's just dispatching the ball into touch. Can he direct operations around the field and help the Scots to come up with a second try here? Something else to take with them into that match in Newcastle just down the road next week. Here is the Scots driving forward. Schneider it was going in at dummy half towards the posts. They take it. Looking for the second try. Schneider again goes to his right to Bell. Bell bringing on the runners, and that is the big man Jack Teenby, who also gets the offload away and taking play very close to the Knights line on this occasion, Scotland. But the ball has come loose under a huge posse of England defenders. And the error has come. The Knights have forced it, but again, encouragement there from Scotland's point of view inside the Knights half of the field.
Yeah, they'll be happy with that. From an England point of view, it was a little tip on again from James Bell. You know, there's 4 people: Russell, Price, English, just not allowing them to get that ball down. And just goes to show, even though there's 7 minutes left, that's a great defensive effort from that England team.
Could have been Bailey Liu, I think, who was the man in the middle, the Scottish player in the middle of those England defenders. And now the Knights have got a penalty, so Scotland, having pressed and benefited from one themselves, are going to surrender some of the field here and some momentum. 6 to go as Price dispatches that out into the far touchline, the stand side of the field. The Knights, early try from Broadbent, a couple more from Thulis before half-time. They led 12-0 at the break, remember. They were down to 12 men at that stage as well, following the sin-binning of Tyler Dupree. He's been back out there from around about 8 minutes into the second half, or they've been back to 13 players, I should say. He's not, I don't think, been out there throughout, but 2 more tries for Thulis, 1 goal by Ollie Russell, and then that Kane Lynette response gives us that score at the moment of 4 points to 22, and it's the Knights looking for another try. Thulis, could he maybe get a nap hand then on the end of a 5th? Nowhere near play at the moment because Nicholson has it for the Knights, who are going to go short side then through the hands of Jez Litton, but ball to ground once more, and Scotland are able to avert the danger.
Yeah, there was elements of frustration on this right hand side there, and you mentioned about Thulis trying to get his 5th, and Scotland were a little bit short on this left edge there now, and England had the numbers, but they decided to go short side. Russell, as he's done all game, to be fair to him, just tried that little chip over, but on this occasion Scotland were wise to that.
And have the ball around about 20 from their own line. There was Bell once again. He's shown up well, James Bell, in his 7th Scottish appearance. You're nodding, Steve.
Yeah, I think he's outstanding, and he played for the New Zealand Warriors in you know, the first time when we saw him, and that was 2017. And we had a tough first start to that World Cup against Tonga and against New Zealand, but he was sensational, you know, and certainly against Samoa in the last game of the tournament. He was brilliant, and he's done that again today. He's played 80 minutes against a good side and really stepped up to the mark.
Yeah, Nathan Graham going to be encouraged by several performances from his team here despite that scoreline, and he'd be one of them for sure, along with the halfback Hayward. The usual set your clock by solid performance from the likes of Kane Lynette and Dale Ferguson when he's been out there. Plenty to build on for the Scots, but the Knights have also impressed, and they lead and are pressing for another try here. That was Matty English with another spinning run. Decided to play it safe, takes the tackle. Ball is with Price, crawling his way into the 20. Last tackle of the set. Are the Scots tiring here? Can England find a way through? Cross this time, looking for the offload, trying to find Thulis, trying to be enterprising with a back heel, I think he was there.
Did well, Scotland, didn't they? I think they was expecting a kick, but they've gone for that power play, and that's the first time they've done that power play on that right-hand side. But that Scotland team, if you watch the replay on that, they're all together. There's got 3 or 4 just getting in that line, stopping that offload, and they'll be really pleased to see that that attack just fade away.
Great stuff here then, Watsonians, as that's Bell once again. Who else for Scotland, trying to clear out of the 20-metre zone at the moment, this moment in time. Right hand side, here's Walmsley, who maybe started a little gingerly for Scotland, but if you'll pardon the expression, with his shock of hair, but he's warmed to his task as well, as have many of these Scots. They've got better as this game has gone on. Scotland then advancing towards the halfway line. We'll get your thoughts, Steve, in a moment on player of the match. Tricky decision, I would have thought as well, given what we've seen here today. Little dash from dummy half was by Schneider, who handles again. Now then, late challenge there on Bailey Hayward, who got the kick away. Price takes that on the full. Hayward might just receive a little bit of attention. He's going to continue. But we've got a stoppage in play with a Knights penalty. Chance for us to get your player of the match, Steve McNamara.
Yeah, some real standout players. We mentioned about James Bell with the Scotland team. I think he's been absolutely outstanding, certainly one of the best players on the field. A number of candidates from the England team. I think we've got to give it to Josh Thulis just for his backfield work, his try-scoring exploits. You know, but there could have been a number of players from the England team have that. But Josh Thulis is my man of the match.
Yeah, excellent finishing from Josh Thulis today. Inside this final minute then, and well, he's still got chance. to make it a famous 5 for the England Knights. 4 tries of their 5 in this match so far, and a super effort from him in the scoring department. Here's England once again. It was Russell's ball that was taken back on the inside by Whitley, straightening things up towards the posts. This could be the last Knights set of the contest. Jordan Lane going back against the grain, shrugs off the attentions of one defender, gets the ball away. Here's Litton, and it's going to be Jez Litton who crosses for his first England Knights try in just his second appearance. Started a match on the bench last week, began the game today and back on, and that probably, Steve McNamara, is no more than his efforts have deserved.
I think so, yeah. I think Jez Litton's been outstanding. He was one of the candidates certainly for man of the match. You know, he's been lively, he's defended well, he's got out at dummy half, but on that occasion there now it was Jordan Lane that carried the ball really, really well. He actually started the play as well. You know, little inside ball, little drop-off play. Jordan Lane just using his footwork, right arm carry, right arm offload, and that man Jez Litton, as he's done all the game, just supporting his play, moving forward and keeping going. Good ball again from Nicholson to start the play off. That Scotland defence just stopped working, got a little bit tired, and Alex Walker just got handed off, right arm offload, right arm handoff, I should say, and Jez Litton went right under the post.
Yeah, good stuff from the Hull KR man, who I know has impressed Rovers supporters, talking to one or two of them in the 2022 campaign. Ollie Russell then, who is 1 from 1 with the boot, converted the most recent Thulis try, and a 6th of the match for him. The hooter has gone. Aaron Moore signals that is time, and Russell converts to make it 2 from 2. And Scotland finish 4, England Knights 28. Thoughts on that in terms of a reflection of what we've seen over those 80 minutes?
I think that score reflects the game. Obviously England's missed quite a few kicks, conversions, but very impressive from England. I just look at the performances and the game management of players like Ollie Russell and Mikey Lewis and Jez Litton, like you've said. The middles, Dupree came on and made an impact, apart from that sin binning obviously. Matty Nicholson, Ethan Havard. But from a Scotland point of view, I think Nathan Graham, even though he'll be very, very disappointed with the scoreline, you never want to lose a game, he'll be encouraged with some of his players. I think, you know, players like Haywood and Bell, Ferguson really stepped up. Fingers crossed they've got no injuries, and they'll be in good nick going into the World Cup next week. Yeah, and as we were saying during commentary, the longer that went on, the more they warmed to their task. But it can't have been easy for them having so many players on the day. No, definitely not. And we've got some tries now coming up, and you know, I think defensively England put them under the pump. You know, it was this right to left side shift, and we mentioned the short kicking game on a number of occasions. I thought it was sensational from England. You know, the actual timing of the kick, the onside chase. You know, we see the players there now all on the same page, and I just thought Russell and Lewis just control that part of the game, and it's a real good skill set, and it's right from the training ground as well. This little show and go from Thulis, poor defence from Scotland. You know, just using some good footwork and some good deception. And then you've got Walker just jumping out, Lewis just putting a real long pass, and Thulis hugging his touchline. Russell rushing in because he was just a little bit worried about the numbers on that left edge. He was outnumbered, I think it was 6 on 4. But good play from England. And then the second half, it was just the speed and just that short kicking game again. And we mentioned about Dion Cross and Thulis, just those little things. You know, little left foot dink over, onside chase, Cross putting Matty Russell under immense pressure. Thulis behind him and scoring that try. And then Danny Walker again just jumping out. Inside runners, outside runners, and then Will Price. I thought Will Price was real good today, linking in that line. Cross just drawing Alex Walker, and then Thulis just getting one of his tries. But if you have a look at the way Price just chimes into this line, the timing, two-handed carry, and then just that little skill set, little soft hands from Cross, and Thulis, great finish. Good work from the Scotland point of view. Haywood, we mentioned on a couple of occasions, really stepped up, and then that man Kane Lynette, you know, just does all the little things well. He's experienced, one of the most decorated players in this Scotland lineup. and a real well-deserved try from a Scotland point of view, and good to see Haywood stepping up when some of their key players came off.
And then his Rovers teammate gets in at the other end.
Absolutely, good end to the game, isn't it? It was a good footwork there from Jordan Lane, and then right arm offload, and just that speed and that backing up from Jez Litton, and just a well-deserved try.
And we talked about the way that Scotland might have had those issues of cohesion with so many men out there. I mentioned that a few times, obviously now. But from an England point of view, you know, you've coached internationally, you've coached club sides, Steve. One of the kindest things you can say about that night's performance today, to say it's only the second time they've played together in a week, is that they felt like a club side, that they were playing together every week.
Yeah, I was really impressed with England, and you know, just the game management. You know, you look at the half-backs, you look at the middles, you know, you look at the way they've improved from the France game. I think that was important. But yeah, I think the short kicking game we mentioned throughout that game, that's one of the best short kicking games from a team that I've seen for a long time, and it's really encouraging. Some of our young players and the way they've been coached and the cohesion in this England Knights programme, very, very impressive.
And Dion Cross, a real robust effort from him on debut at centre.
Yeah, definitely. I think you know, he actually did a lot of work in the middle as well, isn't he? So when some of his forwards were struggling a little bit, he came off his half line, his touch line, and did a lot of work in the middle as well.
OK, we've more chat to come, but first of all, let's hear from player of the match, Josh Thulis. He's with Kevin Makin.
Josh, congratulations on a player of the match performance. 4 tries, you must have been delighted with that.
Yeah, buzzing with that, mate. You know, we said coming into this game it was all about our D. You know, we've got individuals in this team who can perform, and that showed tonight. So we've only conceded 1 try there again, like last week. So we knew the points had come. It's just about our D.
Yeah, like I said, so the defence set you up for the attack. Tell us a bit about what it's been like in camp with linking up with the players this week.
Yeah, it's been mint. You know, obviously a few boys there who don't really know, but we've come in and we've spoken to the changers before. We're a really tight bunch of players, you know, all really good mates. You know, we've been going out for team meals together. There's no one left out. Everything's together, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. You know, I've got some mates for life there now, and hopefully I can link up with a few of them next year as well.
Excellent. I'll let you get back to the celebrations.
Yeah,
cheers, Josh.
you,
I'll
cheers.
bring Paul Anderson in, the winning coach. Paul, how do you feel that went as a team performance today?
Yeah, really happy with our composure. We had a game last week which I thought was real relevant. You could see the difference between the two teams. One been together a little bit longer than the other, but off the back of the 80 minutes we played against France last week, we talked a little bit about our energy-based stuff in regards to our kick chase and our kicking game as well, and how we turned the ball over, and really happy with how we delivered that.
Excellent. And what's next for the England Knights?
We'll go away. That's us done now. It's on to the big boys in the World Cup, and obviously there was a game played last night and with England Fiji, and I think off the top of my head I think there was 10 players that participated in that game last night for England that had gone through this system and this type of game. So it shows that this programme works, and yeah, let's get ready and get England for a World Cup.
Excellent. Thanks for that, Paul.
Cheers,
enjoy the rest of your day. We can bring in Nathan next, the Scotland coach. So, Nathan, what do you make of the team's performance that you've just seen today?
Yeah, I thought there was a lot of effort, a bit scratchy on some things, made a lot of errors in the first half, and sort of compounded them by when we actually got down their end and we had some good ball possession, sort of coughed the ball up when we should have been building pressure as they were on us. So consequently we were a bit tired from defending constantly. But you know, it's exactly what I wanted, is that blow the cobwebs away. There's a lot of people that are new to the group and haven't sort of gelled, but this will go really far to help us to get on that journey for next week.
So, speaking of next week, it's the first game of the World Cup against Italy. You talk about the teams just gelling together. How's the preparations been for the World Cup?
Yeah, we've been together since Wednesday in Edinburgh, so to come and play here today, it's a real quick turnaround. We've only had 3 field sessions, so yeah. But to play a physical game like that, it tests people, and also we can. I've got kind of a side in my head for next week, and it were an opportunity for some people to stake their claim for a spot.
Excellent. Thanks for that, Nathan. I'll let you get back to your
Yep,
troops.
no worries.
Cheers.
We've seen some high quality play from potential World Cup stars of the next few weeks and potential World Cup stars of the future. Steve McNamara, final word from you.
Yeah, no, I think it's been a great game. Listen to both coaches there. Paul Anderson can be really pleased with the journey that his players have come. Showed some fantastic promise. We've got a great bunch of young players coming through our game, which are really, really exciting. From a Scotland point of view, Nathan Graham will get his team, be able to review this game, put a few more structural things in play. There was plenty of effort, and I'm sure that this Scotland side will come out firing next week at the start of the World Cup.
I'm sure they will. They take on Italy next Sunday. We'll look forward to the big kick-off in the World Cup in Newcastle next Saturday afternoon when England take on Samoa. From Steve McNamara and from myself here in Edinburgh, for now, it's goodbye.